Ladies and gentlemen, we have our two contenders in Super Bowl 59. Lo and behold, it is the Philadelphia Eagles facing off against the Kansas City Chiefs. Jay, give me your quick thoughts on what this game looks like.
Well, just think about all these games, all these plays, all the suspense, and it's the Chiefs again. You know, it is the Chiefs again. They just keep doing it. This game will be played out. They played a couple years ago. It was a hell of a game. You know, Hurts threw the ball extremely well. It's 32-29, I think. The big difference now is one team added a big piece of the puzzle. That's Saquon Barkley. This guy's a monster. Can you imagine going all week saying, we got to stop Saquon Barkley. We got it. We can do it. We're going to wrap up and tackle. First play of the game, he goes 60 for a touchdown. That's demoralizing. That's what this guy has done all season long is you got to stop him, but nobody has been able to do it yet. Chiefs, it's a tall task for them. They have very good defense. They're well coached. And then on the flip side, obviously, what's Philly going to do to stop Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce? You never know. I expect another high-scoring game, come down to the wire, a field goal at the end of the ball game. It's going to be a blast to watch. Two great teams, two deserving teams to be here. It's going to be fun to watch.
Well, that's the wild thing, too, right? I mean, you look at the Chiefs-Eagles game from a few years ago. It was Chiefs 38, Eagles 35. Jalen Hurts may have outdueled Patrick Mahomes in that game. He had 300 yards passing. He had 4 total touchdowns, 3 rushing, which he just did this last week as well. It seems like a lot of cast of characters are back. You're right. The Eagles have added Saquon Barkley. Is this Eagles defense better? And is the Chiefs defense better? I feel like that's maybe where more of the wild card comes in for the Eagles, at least.
I think the Eagles defense is a lot better. Added Quinyon Mitchell, Cooper DeJean, Zach Bond. Those are 3 great adds. The 2 interior guys just getting bigger and stronger. So yeah, I think the Eagle defense is better. The Chiefs just continue to reload and refuel. McDuffie's a hell of a player. Obviously, Spags will get them guys going. How about he just dials up a corner blitz on the most important play of the game? So he's always going to have something up his sleeve at the most inopportune time. The Eagles won't expect it, but these teams are both great. Obviously, they're here. They both had long winning streaks throughout the season. They don't beat themselves. Obviously, we know Kansas City won't beat themselves. I think they had 1 turnover the other day, but Philadelphia has not beat themselves either. Jalen Hurts does not throw a lot of interceptions, and they protect the football. So this is going to come down to the wire. It's going to be a good one.
Where does Kansas City have the advantage on the Eagles? At any positions, coaching maybe? I mean, quarterback I would say. But besides that, does Kansas City have the edge over the Eagles anywhere?
I don't think so. Eagle offensive line's better. Tight end, probably. Defensive line. That's close. Linebacking group, probably the Chiefs. Secondary, close. Yeah. It's very close. These guys are very good. They don't have many weaknesses. That's why they're here. Because really, you look at their teams and can't really point to a glaring weakness. This is how we're going to attack the Chiefs. This is how we're going to get after the Eagles. They're sound in every aspect of the game. Eagles' probably biggest weakness is a kicking game, and that's going to be a big concern come Super Bowl in a close game.
Nick Sirianni has shut everybody up. I mean, he has just done nothing but win. Fangio has shut everybody up. Kellen Moore is getting interviewed for jobs. So the Eagles staff is just fine. But the Kansas City Chiefs have Andy Reid and Steve Spagnuolo, who probably will both be in the Hall of Fame for their coaching abilities. It does seem like the Chiefs have an advantage there. No knock to Sirianni and his staff, though.
Yeah, I'd say so. I mean, the history of Andy Reid's success is well documented. So, yes, you have to give the edge to the coaching staff for the Kansas City Chiefs. That's a no-brainer. But the way Philadelphia is playing and the confidence that they're playing with, it's going to be a hell of a game. There's no doubt about it. The issue is it's hard to bet against the Chiefs. And now everybody thinks the Chiefs got the referees in their hip pocket. Another controversial 4th and 1 call that went the Chiefs' way. It just seems like the biggest plays of the game always go to the Chiefs' favor. I don't know what to think about that. It just seems that way.
It almost derailed their entire season last year. You remember after the Super Bowl, they were like, well, that call was phantom. The turf was bad in Arizona. We couldn't get off and we couldn't kind of get after these guys. So I feel like that derailed the Eagles conversation. Jalen Hurts, this is the first time a quarterback who lost his Super Bowl debut has made it back to the Super Bowl. He's got a lot to prove wrong. I just feel like this game is setting up to be another classic. Now, will I say my heart was hurting a little bit yesterday? I think we all wanted to see the Commanders and the Bills make it to the Super Bowl. Unless you're from Philadelphia or Kansas City, it'd be nice to have someone else win that game. Let's go back to that Eagles-Commanders game and just recap that one real quick. 55 points for the Philadelphia Eagles. It is the most in recent memory. I think it was like they showed a clip from the 1970s. It was in black and white. Guys weren't wearing helmets. Basically, the Eagles put one of the most historic beatdowns on the Commanders. You always say it, Jay. Turnovers, third down efficiency, and red zone. And turnovers really hurt the Commanders, huh?
Yeah, it did. The opening drive, Washington goes like 8-minute drive, and they end up getting a field goal. And they had 2 fourth-down conversions. They were battling their tails off early. And then defensively, the first play of the game was a 60-yard touchdown to the guy that you have targeted on your billboards all throughout the meetings all week long. We're going to stop Saquon. Stop 26. Stop him. First play of the game, breaks 5 tackles, and goes 60. That is demoralizing. And then the second carry is another touchdown. Washington hung in there early, but you're right. You can't fumble kickoffs. De'Ami Brown had a fumble. Austin Eckler had a fumble. These are things that the Washington Commanders did not do during the winning streak to get to this point. And unfortunately, when you're slightly overmatched against a better Eagle football team from top to bottom, you have to protect the football and you have to play your best game and you have to tackle well. They did none of it. They didn't tackle well. They didn't protect the football and didn't make the necessary plays. Hats off to the Eagles because they really went out and won that football game. It wasn't gifted to them. They went out and took it and dominated.
Well, we said if Jalen Hurts was healthy, that was the big question mark. And he proved he was healthy. I mean, he rushed for 3 rushing touchdowns. Saquon Barkley had 3. What I was most impressed with, aside from Jalen Hurts, and he showed his health, is interior on the offensive line. Before that game, Cam Jurgens, the starting center, is like, no, I can't play. My back's all messed up. They dress him as an emergency offensive lineman. Landon Dickerson, they're all pro, all everything. Just slides over to center. They don't miss a beat. He gets rolled up. Cam Jurgens comes into the game. It's like chess pieces. Jeff Stoutland has this offensive line rolling. It almost, I don't want to say it doesn't matter because they have Hall of Famers on that offensive line, but it almost didn't matter who was in there. Jeff Stoutland in that scheme, he was going to make this thing go.
They're so good. Lane Johnson's so good. He had a couple blocks. He just knocking people around. Dallas Goedert doesn't get enough credit for his blocking on the perimeter at the point of attack either. He does a good job. And then you got the big A.J. Brown. He has really bought into this team and really displayed his ability to block at the perimeter as well. So now you have not only the monsters, Mekhi Becton, who's about 590 pounds in the middle, all pro, all world right tackle Lane Johnson. Now you throw Goddard and a big blocking receiver and, by golly, the best running back in the National Football League. So they are a hard team to stop running the football. I don't know how you do it. You can load up the box all you want to, but still, nobody stopped them.
Exactly. And that's going to be the task for Steve Spagnuolo and this Kansas City Chiefs defense. They went out against the Buffalo Bills yesterday. They won that game 32-29. Patrick Mahomes does what Patrick Mahomes does best. The defense actually had some key stops late in the game, and then the Chiefs sealed it on a 4-minute drive. I don't want to say they stopped the run because they still, had 150 yards. The Buffalo Bills had 150 yards against the Chiefs. James Cook, his brother's tweeting out mid-game, Dalvin Cook, they better pay him $20 million a year. I don't know if Dalvin's looked at running back contracts lately. That's not what they are. But hey, I'm all for you trying to get it. Josh Allen was all class. He was great in this one. Again, obviously, he's the MVP front runner for a reason. What'd you see in this game?
It's just a shame that one of these guys had to lose. Josh and Patrick have proven to be the best 2 at their position. It'd be nice if they could play in the Super Bowl against each other, but that's a classic. Josh Allen's a classic player. He played great. But really, the Chiefs do what the Chiefs do. They just wear you down and they don't mess up. They just wait for you to do something uncharacteristic and they take advantage of it. Or they'll make a play in a critical situation to win the football game. It doesn't matter who does it. It's Hollywood Brown on one drive. It's Pacheco on another drive. It's Mahomes using his legs on another drive. It's Kelsey on another drive. They don't care. They just distribute the ball to whoever's open, and Patrick does the rest with his ability to make plays that aren't there.
And they're still doing it with Joe Thuney at left tackle. I mean, He is their traditional left guard. He's just gone to left tackle and been like left tackle, left guard. They might be able to put him in a tight end and he'd give you a couple routes. I mean, if he was in a Ben Johnson, Detroit Lions, now Chicago Bears offense, Joe Thuney probably would be your starting tight end. Ben Johnson wouldn't even put him at offensive line. This dude is a stud. You can't be more proud of how he's put the team on his back. And then again, it's just Patrick Mahomes always making the right play. Andy Reid dialing up. You knew on third down they were going to convert at the end of the game. Samaje Perine coming out of the backfield. You see the linebacker trying to make his way through traffic. just leaks him out to the flat and gets that first down. So
usually they run that in the red zone. He dialed that one up in the middle of the field, got man-to-man, had a triple pick for the linebacker, and the linebacker took a bad angle. Game over.
And this is the other caveat to this. Andy Reid going back against his former Philadelphia Eagles. I'm sure I don't want to say there's bad blood. Andy Reid had a ton of success in Philadelphia, but it's always got to feel nice when Andy Reid has gone on since Philadelphia and started another dynasty. And now he gets a chance to really put that last feather in his cap, beat the Eagles again for the three-peat. Andy Reid has to be ecstatic about this matchup. Or maybe, I mean, obviously, if you're the Chiefs, you probably would have rather played the Commanders. So someone else knocked these guys off for us.
I'd say so. It's going to be a fun game to watch. I just go back to the greatest draft pick in the history of the NFL, with the Kansas City Chiefs trading up to number 10, I believe it was, to draft Patrick Mahomes. Everybody's like, what the hell are they doing? They got Alex Smith. They knew what they were doing. This guy is unbelievable, and it's going to be hard to pick against them. But I think the Eagles are in a much better place than they were a couple of years ago when they played, especially the addition of Saquon and Zach Bond and the rest of Quignon and Cooper DeJean, like we mentioned. They're a better football team, a lot better football team, and it was a close game in the Super Bowl a couple of years ago. So this will be a hell of a game, buddy.
Hey, what'd I say? Howie Roseman, man. He's put that team together.
Howie, you were right about that one, man. I'll give you that one. I'll give you your pat on the back on that one, because he has made the right moves to make this team better. A lot of people add players to the roster, but he has really handpicked the positions of need and got the right people in there, and they have done their job, and they are right in the Super Bowl again. 100%.
All right, one last thing before we sign off here. You mentioned the refs. You mentioned some of the penalties. We talk about the last Super Bowl. There was a crucial 4th and 1. It looked like Josh Allen got it. The one side judge gave it to him. The other one didn't. I didn't think he got it, and they said it was short. And if they would have said he got it and they would have upheld it, I think I would have been fine. It seems like these calls always go in the Chiefs' favor. I'm not buying into this whole referee debacle. If you want to be the champs, you got to beat the champs. And they're always in these close games, and they always pull them out. Any thoughts on the refs?
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. It gets just overblown when it happens in the Chiefs' favor, just because of the Kelsey and the Swift maniacs, whatever they're called. Everybody thinks everybody wants the Chiefs to win, but the Bills had calls in their favor as well. And, the Xavier Worthy catch, was that a catch? I don't know. It didn't look like a catch to me, but they just get blown up like out of proportion when a call goes their way. And you're going to get a call your way in the course of a football game eventually. I just thought that the 4th and 1, I didn't think that should be overturned. I thought Chris Jones was offsides, number 1. I mean, he was offsides by 1.5 yards. I mean, he was almost making contact with the center when the ball was snapped. But anyway, I think the best teams are in the Super Bowl. There is no conspiracy theory, nothing like that. Andy Reid's the best coach in National Football League. We have a very good team in Philadelphia. You mentioned Howie Roseman, how they put it together. They deserve to be there, and it's going to be a hell of a game, Justin Pugh.
This is going to be an epic game. The only thing I'm pissed about is fan base versus fan base. I would have loved to see Eagles versus Bills Mafia down in New Orleans. The videos would have been absolutely electric. I know Chief Kingdom, I know you guys bring it, but I know the Bills would have been starving for years, and you guys have been, 7 of the last conference championships, 4 of the last 5 Super Bowls. So
that's crazy.
It would have just been nice to see the Bills get there. But regardless, you're right. The 2 best teams are in it. We're going to do a full breakdown coming out this week as well. Can't wait to kind of dive into this one. Get Colt's opinion on Jalen Hurts. See if we can get him all riled up and the Eagles fans can go after him.
In football, every game means more during the playoffs, and you can start your own personal playoffs on Underdog, where you could cash in on touchdowns, interceptions, yards, or more. All you have to do is pick higher or lower, and you could take home up to 1,000 times your money if you get your picks right. It's that simple. Millions of fans have already won billions of dollars making picks. Sign up for Underdog today using promo code POCKET, capital POCKET, and you'll get a free pick as a part of your first cash entry, plus up to $1,000 in bonus cash when you deposit. Again, that's promo code POCKET.